Homelessness is a stark reality in the United States. It affects hundreds of thousands of individuals and families across the nation. In 2023, over 653,000 people experienced homelessness. This number has been steadily rising, painting a grim picture of a growing crisis. The faces of homelessness are diverse. We see individuals struggling with mental health issues. We see families forced onto the streets due to economic hardship. And we see veterans who have served our country but now find themselves without a place to call home. The crisis is particularly acute in major cities like Los Angeles and New York City. Here, the lack of affordable housing and the rising cost of living have exacerbated the problem. The streets have become a visible reminder of the deep inequalities that plague our society. The causes of homelessness are complex and multifaceted. There is no single factor that can fully explain why so many Americans find themselves without a home. However, several key factors contribute to this crisis. One major factor is the lack of affordable housing. The cost of housing has skyrocketed in recent years, outpacing wage growth. This has made it increasingly difficult for low-income individuals and families to afford rent or mortgage payments. Another contributing factor is poverty. Many people experiencing homelessness are simply unable to make ends meet. They may have lost their jobs, experienced a medical emergency, or faced other unexpected expenses that have pushed them into financial instability. The expiration of COVID-19 relief programs has also worsened the situation. During the pandemic, government assistance programs provided a crucial safety net for many vulnerable Americans. However, as these programs have ended, many individuals and families have found themselves struggling to stay afloat. Veterans, despite their service and sacrifice, are disproportionately affected by homelessness. They make up a significant portion of the homeless population, a stark reminder of the challenges many face upon returning to civilian life. The transition from military to civilian life can be difficult. Many veterans struggle with invisible wounds of war, such as post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury. These conditions can make it challenging to hold down a job, maintain relationships, and reintegrate into society. The lack of adequate support systems for veterans further exacerbates the problem. Many veterans struggle to access the mental health care, job training, and housing assistance they need to rebuild their lives. This lack of support can leave them feeling lost, isolated, and vulnerable to homelessness. Section 4. A community in crisis, Vietnamese Americans and homelessness. The Vietnamese American community faces unique challenges within the diverse landscape of homelessness in America. Historical trauma, language barriers, and cultural factors create a complex situation. The legacy of war and displacement casts a long shadow. Many arrived as refugees, fleeing conflict and persecution. This trauma makes it difficult to establish stability. Language barriers pose significant challenges. Many older Vietnamese Americans struggle with English, complicating housing and services. Cultural factors like family obligation and reluctance to seek help also play a role. Section 5. Building a safety net. Addressing the housing and support gap. Addressing homelessness requires a multi-pronged approach, tackling both symptoms and root causes. Immediate assistance is crucial, but investing in long-term solutions is equally important. Expanding access to affordable housing is paramount. This means building more units, implementing rent control, and providing rental assistance. Strengthening the social safety net is also essential. This includes mental health care, substance abuse treatment, job training, and other support services. Section 6. A call to action towards a future without homelessness. Ending homelessness is not just a matter of policy, it is a matter of will. It requires a collective commitment from all sectors of society to create a more just and equitable world where everyone has a safe and stable place to call home. We must challenge the stereotypes and misconceptions surrounding homelessness. Homelessness is not a personal failing. It is a societal problem that demands a collective response. We must hold our elected officials accountable for enacting policies that address the root causes of homelessness. This means advocating for increased funding for affordable housing, support services, and preventative measures. And we must remember that behind the statistics are real people with real stories. They are our neighbors, our veterans, and our fellow citizens. By treating them with dignity and compassion, we can begin to build a more just and humane society for all.